Okay, I know I'm stopping you quickly because I realize that we're going to be moving pretty soon. So I wanted to have a chance. I'm just going to explain the purpose of these, and then we're going to take the last few minutes to go over our personal reflections and the web. I put multiple intelligence in here because this is a great time for you to reevaluate what kind of learner you are and what kind of learner your children are. You can find out where they are. There's a ton of information on teaching different intelligences. That's not what this class was for, but I wanted you to be aware of it. It's a great way to figure out what kind of a learner your child is and then how to tailor your lessons. It will save you a lot of frustration if you can meet what their strengths are. So this was a teaser of if you want to continue to follow in. I really like the problem solution chart, and you might think, oh yeah, that's great for a book. If we're doing a book, this will work out terrifically. But actually, I put it in there for you as well as an educator. What problem are you having in your home classroom? What have you tried? What worked or didn't work? We're talking about that now in making spreadsheets with our math. What interventions have we tried with our students struggling in math? What curriculum have they used? What curriculum have they discarded? What worked, what didn't? We're starting to analyze that. This is great for you in your self-reflection. What are you struggling with most at home? What's working? What didn't work? What did you try? And then you keep these. I had a mom who did this, and she said she had come up against a wall, and she was so frustrated. And she just, out of frustration, took out a notebook and wrote down what happened during her day and what she tried. And she said as she spent time on it, she was like, oh my gosh, I see what I'm doing. And she changed everything, and she actually she called me. She was like, I just had this revelation. So this is great for you. It's not just great for books, for, analyzing literature. Same thing with the cause and effect. It's a great graphic organizer for your kids, whether they're doing science or social studies or language arts, but it's also great for the home classroom, for you and them. What was the cause? What were the effects of your actions? What were the effects of what you tried to do? What did you notice from it? So it's a great reflecting tool as well. I gave you just a couple of neat things that might help kind of recharge your home classroom. This was just a little reading contract for fiction. I have one for nonfiction, but I just didn't include it, but I can later. And then writing, we push writing. They should be writing like we were just talking about in kindergarten, whether they're dictating stories and then illustrating, they're verbalizing. Always, always, always they should be thinking about writing. And I always tell my students, it's like if you're playing soccer or any sport or musical instrument they like, you cannot go out there and score a goal on Saturday if you haven't been to practice the other days of the week. You cannot play a musical piece beautifully if you haven't practiced it. It's the same with writing. It's a muscle, and they have to practice it every day. If they're not, it's going to be very hard to write that paragraph in 3rd grade or that essay in 6th grade. So writing is huge. It should be incorporated daily for a variety of ways. And this is a great thing to do with your kids in terms of them. And you as a writer. I know when I was teaching way back in a traditional classroom, they always told us we should be writing while the kids were writing. Last thing I wanted to show you, I thought this was kind of fun. I gave you a blank piece of paper. And if you take it and you fold it in half, I love this for kids, for any subject area. And then you fold it in half again. So you've got like a little book. And then you fold the corners so that the corner's facing right there and really push on it a bunch. Really push your edges together. And then you open it up and you have a great graphic organizer for the kids. The subject thing goes in here. You've got 5 areas, or four areas, and you can pick anything you want. Maybe this would be who, what, when, where. Maybe this would be the character's name in here. Physical traits, personal traits, problems they faced, anything. But this is kind of a neat little organizer, I thought. So I thought I'd throw that in. Okay, so until we start to see people moving around, let's look at our personal reflections and do some sharing with that. First thing we always do is start with successes. Anybody have a success that they put down? Yeah.
I just make a binder for every day, and I put all the different curriculum for each day, and I have a 4-week binder of all that stuff, so it's all organized. I don't have to think about it. I just grab what I need for the day and do it once.
I love that. That's great. How about yours?
Saxon math.
Saxon math's been, oh, good. Share that during the math works too, because
And
we're
Howard Jacobs for the higher, but he's kind of over the top. If you don't know math, he's scary, but I loved it because.
And what's it called?
Howard Jacobs, he
Okay.
does geometry and higher, a
Great.
lot higher, but he's like
never heard of
really puts it into how you would use it in the real world. You know, by then you're like, why do I have to learn this?
Yeah.
Well, he puts it in everyday language. You're using it here, you're using it
Oh, I love
there.
that.
And that
I'll write
was
that down.
amazing, so.
I've never heard of that, but I love that. Kelsey, did you have one?
So I just wrote that what's successful is when we actually sit and do it. Anything can be successful, but have to be doing it.
Yes. That's so true. Uh-huh.
I've found work boxes. Everybody's probably heard of them. I use them, and I don't know how I ever homeschooled or even taught at all without work boxes.
I've never heard of them.
Basically, you can get them at Joann's Fabrics. They're like $40, and they have 10 little boxes, little plastic trays, and you can number them. And then it goes along with your calendar. They know exactly what to expect. So, like, there's 10 work boxes, and you put all of their numbers up on a chart above it. And you could put a potty break in there, you could put a snack time in there, you could put lunch, you could put computer time, you could put whatever. And they see exactly what's going to happen throughout the day. And every morning they go to the work boxes and they're like looking inside like it's like Christmas. They're like, looking, what's here, what's here, what's here. And they know that they can't go to 3 without doing 1 and 2. That's been huge.
Yeah.
Because I'm changing diapers and, you know,
Right.
lots of other things. And so if they get stuck, they know move on to
Right.
whatever else is going on, you know, to the next one. But for the most part, I mean, it's been a lifesaver.
I've also heard of parents who've used those with, let's say for spelling, there might be 5 boxes, and the kid and the student gets to pick. Oh, I'm going to try spelling activity number 3 today, and so they'll pull that up, and they get to pick which box they do and what the order they want.
Right, if it's
Or
a subject.
if it's a-
right.
yeah.
Right, yeah, I haven't done that. It's all, you
What
know,
they're gonna do during the
segregated
day.
subjects, yeah.
I love that. Becky, how about you?
For me, my kids finally my little guys are old enough that a success has been being able to work with them as a group
Yeah.
and have it not be so discombobulated. So I'm able to do, you know, concentrated and successful reading time, history times, science time. It may be slower paced because I've got diverse ages, but
Right.
it's not, I'm over here trying to help this little guy and trying to help this big guy. So for me, it's this whole team thing all of a sudden, so getting in a group.
Oh, that's great.
My big thing is just if I make sure that she understands things before we move on.
Yes.
It's the biggest thing with her because
Yes.
if she feels confident in stuff of what we're doing, and then it's a lot easier. to
And you know,
move on.
that's the thing, and I know every one of you face this, is that idea of pacing of do we go on or do we make sure they
Yeah,
have
but
it?
you have to make
How
sure they
long
have
do
it.
we go with this before, and it changes.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, again, always take that giant step back and look at the big picture and say, what was my goal? And if my goal is to get this, you know, I need to make sure that at some point I'm going to revisit this, which is why, you know, I say with your planner, have those 3 colors. The green, they got it. It's mastered. It's good. Highlight it in green. We went over it. I think they have it, but I'm a little cautious. Yellow, red, they did not get this, because then at a glance in your planner, or even if you put it at the top of each worksheet, you can find your reds right away and say, oh, we never got really mastered that. We need to go back. Or you're looking at your planner, because guaranteed you probably don't remember what you did October 13th. You know, but if you go back in your planner and it's color coded like that, you'll say, we've got to get back to that. We really struggled, or I was a little cautious about that. So I think that that's a great idea is, did we get mastery? Should we go back to it? You know, I mean, because sometimes it's perfectly okay to move on, but you have to make sure that at some point, if it's something you valued enough, you want mastery, that you have gone back over it. So I have, I will have extra packets for you as well, so if you want blanks. And thank you for coming, and enjoy the rest of the day. I'm excited to hear what everybody gets to learn.